Summer Update 2025 is introducing two new questlines. This is one of them, with content aimed for the levels 200 to 500 in my opinion. To start the quest, you must be at least level 200 with a summon familiar spell. But before I start the guide, a disclaimer is in order. This was recorded during the test server. I did it on the last days of it, so although there is a chance of things being changed for the live version, I'm hoping the chances will be low, so just keep that in mind. For requirements, only knights, druids, and monks need to bring something. Sorcerers and paladins will find their own items during the quest. Start off by going to Carlin to find Philip, asking about the book, and then he will send you to kill a mini-boss called Inkwing. You will find him on the east of Carlin by the Femor Hills. First, you will encounter some ink splash, which you can ignore. Just follow the path and walk into this ink to get to the room with the Inkwing. This mini-boss is not dangerous, and level 200 should be just fine. Once you kill it, go back and report to Philip. Now he will send you to the Edron Academy to talk with Withering. Say hi, book. Then you need to find the book pages inside the new dungeon here. Go down 3 times and follow the path. Find the book pages on the death tree stump, and by the mushrooms on these spots. This area is one of the new hunting grounds with new monsters. Here you only encounter sinding wyrmlings and shell dregs. I did a bit of testing on my monk, and it was viable for a 300 monk. Not that difficult, and given the layout of the spawn and density, I think it would be a good practice spawn for the type of hunting higher levels do, of just moving across the cave, hiding all the creatures, and looting on the next lap. On my test hunt of 15 minutes, I got to around the 2kk raw, which is definitely pretty bad. But my lab wasn't optimized and also didn't play to the weakness of ice and earth. These most likely will shine for mages of the low 250 range. Now moving on, when you get the 3 book pages, go back and say hi book to Werden. Then use the pages matching the books on his tower and the southern one. Report by saying book again, and he tells you to use the third page inside of the Edron Castle, to the left of Daniel Steelsoul. Upon using the page, you get a message that your familiar has been taken. Go back to Werden, and depending on your vocation, he will tell you why you need to go in. For knights, is to use an inkwell on a regular sword to get an ink-coated sword. Paladins need to go to the Temple of Death, and saying get them to the monk, they get a book with his sacred writings. Druids need to have a sling and star herb. Go upstairs and use both on the suspicious cauldron to get jars of the red and blue color. Sorcerer needs to go to Khazard-dûm, and where you find the NPC for the second Phoenix Blessing, use a rope in this spot to get down. Then click the yellow fire field to receive the Phoenix Feather Quill. Lastly, monks need to have a Kong Hat of Enlightenment. Head to the Blue Valley from the Adventurers Guild and go 2 times in the main building. Wear the hat and stand in the middle of these statues. Then, once you're done with your Vocations mission, then go back and report to Wyrden to get a magic bookmark. This lets you into the new area, the Book World, using the book in the Edron Castle. Here you will find more creatures with the ink aesthetic. These ones are slightly harder than the previous. They were a bit dangerous on my test run with a level 400 paladin, but with proper gear and imbuements and so on, it's going to be doable. It does feel more EK paladin or monk type of spawn, but I must say that on my brief test hunts, it did not seem promising. I got to about 2kk raw on the 3rd floor, which is the most dense, and gave up on the last floor since it was a bit too hard on a level 400, but it seemed to be around the same. Keep in mind these are the only 2 I found somewhat viable in terms of density, and they can be treated as different spawns on their own, but if they are this bad on live servers with proper tests, I think we will have to wait for some buffs in the future. Anyways, back to the questline, you first need to talk to Quill, and he tells you about the boss Sir Leonard, but also gives you the instructions to get down into the chapters of the book. First, click on the inkwell coming out of the book to receive a deep pen, and then use it on the ink on the left side. Then use it to write on any empty space in this part of the book to get a painted torch, which you use at this spot to reveal the stairs. This torch disappears after some time, and also the stairs down will close at some point. Simply repeat this process if you need to get back in, but for now keep the deep pen and torch, which will be needed again. Here you are once again sent to do different missions based on your vocation, which also take place in different floors or chapters. In this one, Druids and Paladins can do theirs. For Druids, you gotta use the deep pen with ink on the blank parts on this book area to get painted bandages. Then in these 3 spots, you will see a bit of a gap in the paper. Click on it to reveal the grass behind it, and then click again to get painted healing herbs. Then combine them to get saturated painted bandages, and use these on the white deer located here. Then report back to Quill. Paladins need to use the deep pen with ink on a blank space here to get a painted bow. You need to do this again, so you could pick an additional deep pen to get them both with ink, or go collect ink again. Then go south and right again on the blanks of this page to receive the painted arrow. Now with these two items, you need to stand in these spots. While standing on it, use the bow at the target practice and repeat this in the other two locations. Then report back to Quill. Moving on, at the far south, you encounter the seal that must be lit up with the painted torch. If you lost it, you can use the pen to write in the blank spaces here to get a new one. Now go down into the third floor, where you will now encounter lion hydras and blue beaks. They are slightly stronger than were lions. Here is where knights and monks can do their mission. For knights, it's simply to kill 30 lion hydras and report back to Quill, which can also be found in this floor by levitating down here. And for monks, they need to find the NPC death, following this path and taking the stairs down. Once there, just say hi and follow the blue text conversation until you get a quest log updated, then head back to report the mission. Sorcerers get to do their mission on the last floor, which is accessed through this boat. Use the ink pen on the blank spaces by the boat and then you can go down. On this floor you will find Crusaders and Hellwalkers, which are a bit stronger than the previous creatures. The task for Sorcerers is to light up the candles located in these three spots, for which you will need to have a painted torch, which you can obtain by using the ink pen on the blank spaces by this area, and then use it on these candles. Make sure to clear the room of monsters beforehand, as you will get hit for half of your current HP upon using it. Follow the path to the other two and repeat, then report the mission to Quill, and now we can get to the next part, which is to fight Sir Loner, located in this floor here. This boss is a solo fight, and you access by having completed and reported the mission given by Quill to each vocation, and then simply walk over this to get teleported to the room. This boss is comparable to the creatures but slightly stronger, and it can summon Crusaders as well. With plenty of room to kite it, it should be quite easy to do it, especially if you got in this far already. Also, this boss can drop the new trinkets for 2% of energy protection, but it might be random which one you loot instead of matching your vocation. Anyways, kill him, and upon leaving, you are sent to the room where your familiar is trapped. Simply use the item you were told to get for your vocation on the door, and then you get teleported inside. In the case of Paladins, I had to use the painted bow, but I think it only works because I was carrying the sacred writings. It might be similar to the other vocations. Also, make sure to open the chest to receive a figurine of your familiar. During the test server, you were not sent back to this room once you had completed the quest, so you couldn't get the figurine if you missed it. With this done, you get your familiar back, and now go report back the mission to Weirdin to get the base Illuminator outfit. And he's going to tell you about two items that were stolen as well, the Scallow Shell and Sandfield Horn. Obtaining these items grant you the add-ons to the outfit. These are dropped by the new solo mini-bosses located in Liberty Bay, Venor, and Yalahar, which can only be accessed after finishing the questline. Each of them is of the Archfold category, so you need 60 kills for Bestiary just like Sir Leonard. The first one in Venor is the simplest. Go here and clicking on the paint takes you to the rune of Blind Marine. Kill the Drowned Deck Hands and he becomes attackable. Simply attack and kill him. Next up, the Wrathful Archivist in Yalahar. Northeast of the depot, find the food shop and levitate to this roof to access the painting. For this boss, you need to complete some minigames. First, kite the boss around until books appear in the room. Click on one to reveal a minigame. One of them is purple teleports appear in the room with avid readers. Simply walk these ghosts over the teleports within the time limit, then you can damage the boss for about 25% of HP, and repeat the minigame process. Another office game can be to feed the animals. On the left side of the room you find a machine. Click on it and it summons different types of food. This can be done at any point, so it's recommended to use it and grab a piece of cheese, meat, and bread. Toss the food on the ground and make sure the matching creature walk over it. Cheese for rats, meat for the roadworm, and bread for the rabbit. And the third minigame is to deactivate the runes in the correct order, which I couldn't find. I don't know how this one works as of the making of this video, but with the other two minigames, it's easy to complete and kill the boss with no issues. Now for the third and final boss in the Liberty Bay, go to the docks building and find the painting upstairs. This one is quite simple as well. Just damage him and when the fruits respawn, lure him away from them, as they explode and heal him for different amounts. The worst one I believe is the banana, which does 7k heal, and you can avoid them hitting the boss with magic walls too. That's all there is to these mini bosses. As far as I know, the only notable drops will be the add-on items, which might be quite rare. But difficulty wise, they are pretty easy to complete for Bestiary at the very least. That's all I got for this video. If you found the video helpful, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.